Our last speaker today comes from Japan. He's an iOS engineer and an accomplished breakdancer. He clinched second place at the World Breakdancing Championship in Germany back in 2007. He's also, yeah. He's also a big fan of SF symbols. So, okay, let's welcome Osamu Hiraoka.
Hi. First of all, I would like to say that I have come to. This is the first time I have come to South America, of course, Argentina, and I'm really excited, and I am really happy to be here. Anyway, welcome to my Widget Revolution talk. I will share the experiment I am working on. I'm still in the midst of the experiment, but I'm incredibly excited about the revolution in the widget from iOS 17. Today, I want to share my excitement with all of you. But first, let me introduce myself. My name is Osamu Hiraoka from Japan. Most people call me Little Osa. So please call me Little Osa or Osamu, okay, something like that. And this is my cute icon. I love this. I would be delighted if you could remember just this icon. Why is his nose bleeding? I don't know. But I guess he is really pumped up to be at the Swift Bowl this year. I love creating unique iOS app. This talk relates to my hobby, creating iOS app. Let's take a look at the agenda. First, I'm going to explain why I should talk about the widget revolution. After that, I'm going to share what update the widget from iOS 17 includes interactivity and animations. Considering that it is really powerful, and you likely have already checked the update, I'll keep this part brief. Finally, we're going to explore widget possibility together with making to-do app on only a widget. I'm sure you will be super excited about creating a widget and the possibility after this talk. Let's start with the reason why I should talk about the revolution. I have been researching the possibility of creating an app that can function entirely within a widget without launching the main app, even before the addition of interactive feature in iOS 17. Like this. When users press the button on the widget, the list on the widget is updated in real time, even if it's before iOS 16. I know the animation of the interaction is kind of strange, but it works. I'm going to show you how it works. If the widget family is greater than system medium, you can use link. Assign a unique URL to this link. When a user taps a link, your main app detects the URL on open URL modifier. You can detect which button on the widget was tapped on the main app. In on-open URL modifier, you can receive the URL and then handle it. We will implement what we want to do for the widget here. For example, delete item or save, add, or something like that. After that, use the widget center reload all timelines API to update the state of the widget to its newest state. What should be done in the end to achieve interactive-like features? Now the widget gets updated, but the user stays within the apps. This is not very interactive. In fact, I found a magical API to achieve it. This is my #1 favorite API. UI controls .send action is a method that triggers the action of a UI control. It sends the selector of your session task.suspend to the target. I have a question for you. What will happen after that? Let's think. I named this API back to home screen of device. Since you've heard the name, you might be able to imagine. This API forces the app to go into the background state. You can't stop being excited about back to home screen of device. Let's see how it works. Within the app, take a look. Okay. This is a way you can forcibly bring the user back to the home screen. This is amazing. I love it. Back to your own open URL, we add back to your home screen of the device at the end. Let's summarize the implementation of interactive-like widget so far. First, get URL to detect what button tapped on the widget. Second, write something you want to implement. Third, reload your widget. Finally, back the user to the home screen of the device. That's all. Let's take a look at the completed app again. We were able to achieve an interactive-like widget even in iOS 16 and earlier. Completing this groundbreaking widget in April 2023, what I thought at the time was, I will become the king of the widget with such a groundbreaking widget app in April 2023. However, you know what happened? Real king has gone. At WWDC 2023, the king announced that widget will receive new capabilities for interactivity and animations. However, the interactivity will be limited to 2 controls, buttons, and toggles. Which one describes you better? Or first, just only 2 controls, okay. Or buttons and toggles are becoming interactive? What are they? Oh my God. I will tell you how I felt. My app is dead. My efforts and the interactive-like widget exactly turned into trash. With the arrival of the king and the new future of the widget. As a result, I felt compelled to explore the widget. That's why I have to talk about this theme today. It's a sad story, though. Anyway, there is not only bad news. All developers can make widget interactive and add animations from iOS 17. Since this has already been covered in the WWDC 2023 session, Bring Widget to Life, I provide a brief explanation this time, if you want to know more detail of these capabilities. Be sure to check out the Bring Widget to Life from WWDC 2023. Okay, let's get started. The first things I want to do is to define a type that confirms the app intent. Define an asynchronous function called perform, and define the business logic to execute the intent. As mentioned earlier, you can now use buttons and toggles to make part of the widget interactive, passing the previously created app intent as an argument allows you to express interactive actions. Starting from iOS 17, not only do you have controls like the button and toggles, but the widget can also now have animations. It was the widget update from iOS 17. Now, let's move on to today's main theme. Explore the possibility of making a to-do app on only a widget. Are you ready for it? You definitely will be excited. After this talk, you might feel like the era of needing app is over. I've listed about 6 elements necessary to make to-do app on only a widget. First, screen transitions are essential element in app development. To make an app that stands alone on the widget, transitions on the widget are necessary too. We will explore push and modal sheet transitions on the widget. Second, making a to-do app requires the need to create and add new tasks. In this section, we will primarily explore text input on the widget. Third, there might be times when you want to modify a task that you've created. We will use what we learned in Create Item section to update tasks. First, let's explore the process of deleting a completed task. This time, we will consider complete equal delete. During the deletion, we will enhance the experience by switching the image of the completion button with the stylish effect. Fifth, let's explore displaying errors on the widget to achieve a free self-contained app on the widget. It's important to show errors on the widget. Finally, having made a standalone widget app, there is no longer reason to use main app. Therefore, I will introduce the way to absolutely prevent the use of the main app. Okay, let's start from the beginning section. We will try transitioning with the modal sheet first. First, we define the app intent for the button that will display the sheet inside the perform method. We add the logic to change the display flag to true. For simplicity, we are using user defaults as the data storage this time. The button for displaying the sheet is complete by passing the app intent defined for present view as an argument to the button. And then, similar to present view intent, we define dismiss view intent. The action performed this time is to dismiss the view, so we toggled the view's display flag to false. We have also created the dismiss button. Now the preparation for screen transition are ready. Let's create parent and sheet views and try screen transition. I've created the parent view where I want to display the model sheet. It includes the present view button we created earlier. And now, let's create the next view to be displayed during the model transition. I position the close button in the top left corner. Let's combine the parent view and the next view. Behind the next view for the model sheet, I place the slightly transparent black color to present the overlay. Let's see how the transition works. While the sheet is displayed, it doesn't quite feel like the model sheet. It's not working as expected. Let's make some improvements to make it look better. We will focus on the processing inside the if statement of content views. View is presented. We will add a transition modifier there. First, we will add the opacity effect transition to the transparent black color representing the overlay. For the next view, we want it to appear from the bottom and go back down. Therefore, we set the transition to push from top. However, the usual push from top didn't produce the expected animation. So we use asymmetric and specified push from top in the insertion and removal inside it. Finally, to achieve the appearance of being displayed modally, we apply rounded corner to the corners of the sheet view. With this improvement, let's take the final result to see the better appearance. How does it look? It looks better, right? We've achieved a cool model presentation on the widget. Next, let's try push transition. We will use the component we use for the model sheet transition, but let's take this opportunity to change the image over the dismiss view button to a chevron left for the push. Okay, I did it. For the push transition as well, we set a transition similar to the model sheet transition. This time, we apply the transition only to the destination view. The push transition seems suitable for expressing the push transition, and to make it visually clear, we've changed the background color of the parent view. Look, we've also achieved a cool push presentation on the widget. Are you getting excited about exploring this widget? Let's get even more excited. The next part is also an important section for creating a free self-contained widget app. Let's create add and update tasks before we get started. I have a question for you. What is essential for making to-do app on only your widget? The answer is text input. The first way that come up with text input is probably text field for iOS engineers, isn't it? Now, do you know what happens when we try to render text field on the widget? Imagine it. Instead of rendering the text field, you will see a yellow background with a red stop sign. This is not only applies to text field, but also to any components that cannot be used on the widget. The result is quite interesting. So how do we achieve text input? What would be your approach? The way I've come up with is to create a keyword that works on the widget. It's really easy. Just create it, and it works. This minimum variable product currently supports only English. But if you are an iOS engineer, it's possible to extend support to other languages. I love it. Input text is also straightforward. Define an app intent for keyboard key input. Then, within the perform method, you simply add the entered string to the data storage. It looks easy. To display it on our custom text field, we simply need to reflect the value of the data storage. When creating a task, you retrieve the saved input text and use it as the name of the task to be added. You can pass identifying values such as ID or index as parameters. When updating task using appIntent, by passing a unique identifier, you can easily identify the target task and update its information. We learned how to create, add, and update tasks. Once we can input on the widget, there is nothing to fear for us. Let's move on to learning about task deletion. I know you might be a bit tired of hearing appIntent. But of course, the next step also involves appIntent. So let's dive in. As usual, we will define an appIntent, and within the perform method, we will simply execute the task deletion process. However, this time, we will use a toggle instead of a button. Let's go ahead and try it out by using it to perform a deletion. Look at this. So we managed to delete tasks, but the toggle's image doesn't change. We need to enhance the behavior a bit more to effectively communicate when a task is completed by the user. In Swift UI, you can use toggle style to design the appearance of a toggle. It allows customization of the toggle's color, shape, and animations by accessing the is-on state of the toggle through the configuration parameter. You can switch the image or foreground style based on its state. I'll change the implementation of the toggle to use toggle style. By applying the delete toggle style, we can now switch the image based on the toggle state. Let's take a look at it in action. When you press the delete button, the toggle's image temporarily switches to an image representing completion, and the task gets deleted. It looks really cool. Now we can add, update, and delete tasks on the widget. With all these features, can we consider it a standalone widget app? However, what's something that we must have in an app? It's the ability to communicate errors to the user. Handling error is also straightforward, simply by saving and monitoring their states. First, define errors that may occur within the app. We will enhance the appIntent for adding tasks to handle errors. If the input text is empty, we save the input text empty error to user default, and then the widget update process is executed. Finally, create a custom view for displaying errors and set it to be visible only when an error happens. With this, we can now communicate errors to the user. This time, we've created a button to add an empty task, which triggers the display of the input text empty error. When the OK button on the alert is pressed, an app intent is used to remove the widget error from user default. It was the introduction to show error. Finally, in this last section, given the effort we put into making the widget, I'm sure you wouldn't want user to use the main app, right? If you want to prevent users from using the main app, you already know how to achieve that, don't you? Do you remember it? Okay. Okay. Oh, sorry. Yes. It's back to home screen API. At the moment of launching the main app using the back to home screen API, you forcibly return to the home screen. There's no need to worry about users using the main app. When the app is launched, it's brought back to the home screen. User never use the main app. It looks perfect. Wait, I'm thinking, what if our user installed the app for the first time and hasn't added the widget yet? If they see the app's behavior in that situation, they might feel like it's a useless app. But I thought of this. So instead of users seeing nothing, if they have not added the widget yet, they will see information about adding the widget on the main app. How can I determine if widget is installed? We can get information about whether a user has installed the widget using the Widget Center Get Current Configuration API. If the resulting widget info is empty, we can determine that the user has not yet installed the widget. Afterward, when the app comes to the foreground, retrieve the widget info, check if the widget is installed, and if it is, return the user to their home screen. With this, you can finally create a to-do app that is entirely on only a widget. While I've used sample code for this presentation, let me show you the ultimate widget to-do app in its completed form. This is ultimate widget to-do app. I don't think it's very user-friendly, but it works entirely with just the widget. The possibilities with widget have truly become limitless, starting from iOS 17. Dance, 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 go, dance. I love dance. Let's go. Yes, I love dance. So now, here's a question. Will app approve such a strange and innovative app? What do you think? No? 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 This answer is yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I already passed the App Store Connect review and also tapped the publish button right before I started my talk. I believe you'll be able to find it on the App Store and check it on your device now or in a few minutes. This is a link and QR code to be there. By the way, I apologize, this app is MVP and currently only available in English. How was journey into the widget revolution? To summarize, the ultimate widget app journey has just begun. With iOS 17, the possibilities of widget have expanded infinitely, thanks to app intents and animations. I hope this talk has inspired you with new idea. The code used in today's talk is a simplified and easily explainable version. The actual code is available on GitHub. There are still many improvements to be made. So I look forward to your pull requests. It's open source. Stars are also appreciated. This is the open source. You can do it. By the way, thank you for your attentive listening, as I may not be very proficient in English. Feel free to ask questions using simple and easy to understand languages during the Q&A session. Have a good real drive. Thank you.
Any questions? No questions? Okay. I have one here, and it says, what's the most important limitation you see using widgets?
Scroll? I think scroll. I think so. Now we can make scroll just to tap button and change the page or view or something like that. But so I really want to scroll, feel like main app. So just how to explain that? Just like that. That's why I think so.
I don't know what you're all voting this. I feel like I'm not completely sure if I should ask him this. They say if you can do a quick dance. I mean, it has 6 balls. I'm sorry.
Now, I have.
You need music?
Yes. Okay. Anything. Anything. Okay. 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 Everything.